Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Week 15 Film Room. I'm Evan Lazar for CLNS Media, and today we are going to break down Mac Jones's Week 15 performance against the Indianapolis Colts. And when you guys come to Patriots Press Pass and you look at our content, you want honesty, right? You want objectivity, you want unbiased opinions, and I think you're going to hear what I'm about to say and say, Evan, let's not put lipstick on a pig. Mac Jones threw 2 interceptions in the game against the Colts. The Patriots offense was shut out for 3 quarters, and that is not winning football. And there is absolutely no doubt that that is accurate. The Patriots, as their coaching staff has said since, as Mac Jones himself has said since, did not play winning football on Saturday night consistently enough to beat a good team in Indianapolis. With that being said, however, I think a lot of quarterbacks and big time players in all sports should really be judged a lot of the time on what happens when things don't go well. We know a lot of guys, and I think all quarterbacks are in this category, especially young ones, that can front run, right? That can be good when everything's going well and the momentum is with them, and they can carry that over and they can really explode and have big offensive performances. But what happens when you get knocked down? What happens when you're on the ropes and you've made some mistakes? Some things have snowballed on you. How do you respond at that point in time? I think we learned a lot about Mac Jones in this game, that he had the moxie, the mental toughness, and the ability to bounce back from a rough start in this game against the Colts and almost bring the Patriots back within a field goal there at the end, 20-17. And you never know if the Patriots defense gets a stop and Jonathan Taylor doesn't break that big one. Who knows what Mac Jones would have done in the 2-minute drill to either put the Patriots in overtime or potentially win that game at the end of the game. So I took away a lot more positives from this film review than negatives, because the negatives were a couple of throws. The 2 interceptions, I thought the 4th and 1 rollout play, there was a better throw to be made there as well. But we're really talking about 3 or 4 plays that you could get on Mac for, and then a slew of really positive, high-level quarterback examples that we're going to get to here in this video in a few minutes. So we're going to focus on the positives here. The negatives, we know what they are. You can't turn the ball over, have to be a little bit better situationally, but on the whole, a very positive performance for Mac Jones. And you're not going to play perfect every single game. Not everything is going to go right. So how he responded to the adversity, I thought, was a really good sign for things to come for the Patriots, and the process will carry over to hopefully more success and more wins for New England in the future. So let's get into the tape. One of the best parts about Josh McDaniels as a play caller is his ability to sequence together complementary plays. And that's what we're going to show you here from the Patriots offense. And for Mac Jones, reading out the same concept 3 different ways against a coverage that the Patriots were expecting to get from the Indianapolis Colts zone heavy defense on Saturday night. So Mac is going to hit 3 different receivers out of the same concept and really show his great understanding for the big picture conceptually, what the Patriots are trying to accomplish with every given play call and with every given throw. And I think that's what impresses me the most here about this play. So the first thing I want to show you about this first 3rd down for the Patriots in the game is that the pre-snap indication from the defense is that they are in man-to-man coverage. You have man-to-man here, man-to-man there, man-to-man there, and on the outside, man-to-man there with the single high safety in the middle of the field. You're getting some sort of cover 1 look from the defense pre-snap. Now, as we roll the play a little bit longer, and as Jakobi Meyers runs this motion, this short motion, into this stack alignment, you are going to see the defender over Kendrick Bourne in the slot drop into the deep half, and this is going to end up being a cover 2 structure. So you have a disguised cover 2 look here by the Indianapolis Colts, and I think this is a great indication for the Patriots and for Mac Jones that he understands how to read out these disguises and where to go with the football post snap. So look at the disguise first. You'll see the coverage rotation here in a second. The second thing I wanted to discuss is the play call, because as I just mentioned, the Patriots are going to call this play 3 times in the game. We're going to show all 3 and how they build on each other and how Mac builds off of them to get a big play, first down on third down, then an even bigger play, and then an even bigger play off of that, even off of the same concept every single time. So as we roll this just a little bit more and we get Jacoby into this stack alignment here, you can see the defender over Bourne starts to bail into the deep half to form that cover 2 structure. And what the Patriots are going to run here at the bottom on the strong side of the formation is called a levels concept, or the Patriots might actually call it high-low crossers, and they've run this for years in this system. So you're going to have the deep dig pattern by Kendrick Bourne, you're going to have a shallow dig pattern by Jacoby Myers, and then you're going to have Hunter Henry just kind of sit down over here to hold that hook defender away from the middle of the field. So what Mac Jones is going to do on this particular play is he is going to read the Mike linebacker in the middle of the field, Bobby Okereke. And when Okereke drops back and falls underneath the deep dig pattern, and I also should mention this for future reference, you have a go ball or a fade here on the outside to stretch the field by Nelson Aguilar. We'll get back to that in a couple plays, and it's going to make a bigger difference, and you'll see what I mean. So Okereke here, Mac is going to just read his drop. If Okereke drops underneath all the way to the deep dig, he's just going to throw the short one. If he stays underneath the short, he's going to throw it over Okereke's head to the deep dig. And as we roll the play, you're going to see Okereke is the player I want you to really focus on. He's going to drop into the deep hole in this cover 2 structure, and it's going to leave Myers open on the shallow dig route coming across the middle of the field. So again, watch that middle linebacker right here in the middle of the field. You can see the coverage rotation. Mac is going to read this out, and notice that this is a cover 2, Tampa 2 type of structure. And here we go as we roll the play. There comes the levels concept, and here's Okereke right here. See how he falls deep to get underneath Bourne's route, and that leaves the passing lane open there for Jacoby Myers. Mac resets a little bit in the pocket just to step up and gun this ball in there, and makes a good throw on third down to Jacoby to convert. So as we roll it a little bit longer, you see the throw, and that's the first play. We can pull it in full speed for you guys here, and you can see the levels concept at the bottom of the screen between Mac and Kendrick Bourne. They're going to run that 2 deep dig concept, 1 deep dig, 1 shallow dig, and then you're going to have Mac just read out that Mike linebacker and have that ability to see where Okereke is falling in the zone structure and just throw it to the short dig for the third down conversion. So that's play number 1. Mac, on the first time we see this concept, he throws the short dig, right? He throws the underneath dig to Jacoby Myers. Now we're going to have the exact same play, same motion, same alignment, same formation, same everything from the Patriots. You have the backside clear out route. You have the Jacoby's going to motion here and run the shallow dig. You have the deep dig from Kendrick Bourne. And you have the little spot from Hunter Henry there to hold the underneath coverage on the flat. Same exact concept, literally mirrored concept, exactly the same. So as we get into the read, you see this time Okereke, who is right here this time, he is going to latch on to Jacoby Myers' route, thinking, same concept. I got it this time, right? It's going to be the shallow dig to Jacoby. What's going to end up happening, though, is when the defense falls into this cover 2 structure, it's going to leave Kendrick Bourne on the deep dig open in front of that deep safety. So as we roll the play, you will see the same exact motion, the same exact levels here on the opposite side. And now watch Okereke this time. See him in the middle of the field here. He is going to latch on to Jacoby Myers and take that away, and that's just going to open up the route for Kendrick Bourne. Now, the one other thing I want to show you is that Mac has a defender underneath this route, and then he has a defender over the top of that route. Right? And this Hunter Henry route is supposed to hold Kenny Moore and have him come down and free up this passing lane, but Moore does a really nice job of staying home, and Mack makes a really good throw to put enough under it to get it over Moore, but not overthrow the ball to Kendrick Bourne and just drop it right in to the hole in the coverage. A really good throw there by Mack to be able to do that. So as we rewind it and watch it in full speed, you can watch Okereke drop in the middle of the field and take away the shallow dig. So this time you take away the shallow, I'm just going to throw the intermediate dig or the deeper dig route on this levels concept, the exact same play here with the different result, right? Throwing to a different receiver. Okay, so now we get into the third iteration of, again, the exact same play. This time, Kendrick Bourne is going to run the intermediate dig. Jacoby is going to come in here with the same motion. He's going to run the shallow dig here over the middle of the field, and they're going to get N'Keal Harry up the field on the vertical route. When they motion into this stack here with Jacoby, the defense is going to sit there and say, we got this. It's the levels concept. We know exactly what they're going to run. And what you're going to see is Okereke here again. He's going to jump Jacoby's shallow dig route, and this deep safety is going to jump Kendrick Bourne's route, thinking we got to get over these defenders, right? We got to get, or excuse me, these receivers. These are the receivers that they're going to target on this play, and we got to get to them. So what it's going to do is it's going to leave N'Keal Harry one-on-one on the backside of the formation with the safeties and the linebackers in the middle of the field, all focused on the levels concept to Mac Jones's right, because they've already seen this play work for the Patriots twice before. It's going to lead to a one-on-one for N'Keal Harry down the field, and Mac makes a really nice aggressive throw to take a shot to the one-on-one, and N'Keal makes a great catch, obviously going up above the rim and making the contested grab. So as we roll the play, you're going to see the safeties both overreact here to those dig routes, right? You have this safety jumping the route here by Kendrick Bourne. You have Okereke and the safety here staying in the middle of the field to bracket Jacoby Myers, and here's the one-on-one matchup with nobody in the middle of the field. You see all this space here in the deep middle of the field, and Mac just knows he's got to lead N'Keal out into the middle of the field and let him go and get it. So they jump the levels concept this time with their safeties, expecting that they're going to get that same concept from the motion. You can actually see before the play even starts, when they see the motion, they actually communicate there on the back end a little bit. As we roll it back, Jacoby comes in motion, and watch the safety here communicate with the hand signal to his teammates, hey, levels concept, here it comes, right? Here it comes. We know what we're doing. We talked about this on the sideline. Both safeties jump the levels, and that leaves the one-on-one here for N'Keal Harry on the backside, and Mac knows it, sees it, makes a really good aggressive throw, and you have a great contested grab by N'Keal Harry down the field. So 3 plays. We go back all the way to the beginning. You can see them in full speed. 3 plays playing out totally differently, the exact same concept, and building complements off of that concept and knowing where all your answers. Shallow dig, right? When Okereke drops into the deep hole. The deep dig, when Okereke latches on to the shallow dig with the safety's back. Deep hole shot, right on the middle of the field. Now, both the safeties jump the levels. They take away the front side concept. I got one-on-one on the backside. Let's take a shot. And here comes the shot to N'Keal Harry and the 43-yard completion. That is great complementing and sequencing by Josh McDaniels. That is great understanding by Mac Jones of what the offense is trying to achieve with their play calls, and conceptually, okay, if these safeties jump the levels, I got the one-on-one on the backside. If this defender jumps the shallow, I got the deep, and vice versa. Just a total understanding of the concept from a holistic perspective by Mac Jones, and 3 solid completions down the field. That's really good quarterbacking. It's really good play calling by McDaniels, and that's a very optimistic view of something that Mac Jones did at a very high level for the Patriots on Sunday. Now, here comes another play that I want to highlight that just really shows a quick understanding of your answers, of the coverage, of the look that the defense is giving you, and how to beat all-out pressure. So most of the time when we talk about zero blitzes or zero pressure, you're talking about man coverage, right? The defense usually mans up with 5 guys in coverage, 6 guys rushing, or 4 guys in coverage, 7 guys rushing, depending on how many blockers are left in by the offense. So you have all these players up at the line of scrimmage by the Colts threatening blitz. Now, the difference between what Indy does and what the Patriots do with all-out pressure is Indy is going to drop into more of a zone structure to behind this. So this is a zone all-out pressure, a zone blitz, or a fire zone, if you want to call it that as well. So they're going to have 2 defenders underneath the structure and then 3 guys deep in kind of like a cover 3 with only 5 guys. And what Mac Jones is going to recognize is that here on the left side, this player is going to take an underneath zone. He's going to take an underneath zone. And then we got deep third, deep third, deep third with the all-out pressure coming on the line of scrimmage here from, I believe it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys there threatening the pressure. So at the top of the screen, you have 2-on-2, right? It's a two-man game. You have 2 defenders and you have 2 receivers. And what the Patriots are going to run is a little rub concept where Brandon Bolden's going to release into the flat and N'Keal Harry is going to run a little hook route, and that's going to create a natural rub or traffic there on Brandon Bolden's man, or the defender in the zone that's closest to Brandon Bolden is really how I should say it. And that's going to give them an opportunity to beat this all-out pressure. So Mac's going to end up throwing a pass behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 10 that is going to convert for a first down. And you hear that and you say, oh, well, that's pretty easy, or the odds of them converting on 3rd and 10 on that type of play is very low. But it's just a really good understanding of what is my answer if all this pressure comes. If they actually bring this entire rush, how am I going to beat it? And as we roll the play, they do bring everybody, and here comes the 2-man game, right? This defender, he's responsible for the flat. N'Keal's just going to run this little button hook here to hold that defender and pick him off a little, and then you're going to have the flat released by Brandon Bolden, and as we roll it, you can see that little rub. That creates enough of a traffic there for Bolden, and he gets up the field, and that's just a great understanding of how to beat it from Mac Jones. Now, on this play right here, we are going to get a really fun concept that I like to talk about with Mac, and we talk about full field progression. So we talk about seeing the entire field. Well, this is a great example of doing just that and getting to the backside dig. Getting to the backside dig for a quarterback is a little, it's exciting, right? It's one of those things where we say, oh man, that's a quarterback that's in tune. That's a quarterback that's in sync. That's a quarterback that understands how to read through a coverage and get through a full field progression. So on the strength side of the formation here with the tight end, the Patriots are trying to run a corner route or a sail style concept. You have the under into the flat, and they're going to try to run Hunter Henry against this safety right here in this corner route and try to hit it down the field. What's going to end up happening, though, is that the defense, when they fall into this cover 2 structure, this squatting corner here is going to give Mac some problems. Although it looks like maybe Mac could have held him in the flat with a pump fake and then tried to throw it over the top of Hunter Henry, it's a difficult throw to make because the squatting corner over here is kind of trapping or baiting him into throwing that corner route a little bit. So instead of doing that, Mac is going to progress off of this. He's going to come off of his front side or initial read in the progression, and he's going to come all the way backside to hitting N'Keal Harry on this dig pattern. So as we roll the play a little bit, you can see the squatting corner there. Here comes the corner route. And the first thing I want to show you is that in this sort of 2 deep style structure, you're going to see the linebacker here is going to carry Hunter Henry inside vertical. And that's going to open up all this space here in the middle of the field. And you see here's the corner on the outside and the safety here. And they're going to close the gap on this corner route and try to fall on it like this. And it's there potentially if he really guns it in there, but that is going to be a difficult throw and potentially an interception, and this is a much cleaner play to come to this backside dig route. So he comes off of Hunter Henry on that corner route, recognizes that the defense is kind of taking it away. Here he is looking at this squatting corner right here. Are you staying back far enough to play the corner, or are you going to charge up and give me an opportunity to make this throw? And the other defender that he's really looking at is Okereke here in the deep hole. When he carries this vertical up the hole, right, and goes like that, that's what creates the opening here in the middle of the field. You have Jacoby Myers clearing out the safety, and you have Nikhil filling in on the dig route. And watch Mac's feet. We can watch it from the end zone angle again, but here's the read. He comes off and resets and throws this deep dig to Nikhil Harry. But watch his feet in the pocket. I think that this is another really important element of it as well. When you watch his footwork and how he resets in the pocket and how his feet follow his eyes. You never want the quarterback to throw the football with his feet pointed this way, but the ball is actually going this way, right? You want your feet to follow your eyes and your feet to go with you through your read. So he's going to start reading this sail concept on the left-hand side. It's not there. And watch how he recalibrates in the pocket and now gets his body pointed forward to make this throw to Nikhil Harry. Just great pocket movement, kind of pocket understanding, awareness, and footwork to make sure, and you see everything in sync, right? Everything's in sync. His eyes, his read, his feet, all of it is in sync together, one string of reset, make the throw to the middle of the field once the coverage opens up on the dig. That's a really great all-around play there by Mac. All right, last play here I want to show is obviously the first touchdown to Hunter Henry, and the reason why this one's so great is because you have, first and foremost, a great job of climbing the pocket by Mac Jones and being able to evade the rush from the middle of the pocket and then just climb up the pocket while keeping your eyes down the field. The other thing I want to show you is how he manipulates this coverage by staring middle and staring down Jacoby Myers' route and then basically getting Hunter Henry open on the other side of the middle of the field safety. So Nikhil Harry's vertical route here is going to clear out that half field defender, and the defense is actually going to fall into what is called a cover 6 defense, and cover 6 means quarter, half. So you're going to have a quarter defender here, a quarter defender there, and then you're going to have, I believe it's this defender here is going to take the half field. So quarter, half is the way that you want to call this cover 6 if you want to know exactly how the deep structure plays out. And Hunter Henry is just going to run sort of a crossing pattern. That was a terrible draw. Here we go. A crossing pattern in the middle of the field, and it's going to get him one-on-one on Andrew Sendejo on the deep middle, and Mac is going to do a great job of coverage manipulation, evading the pocket, the whole thing. So as we roll the play, you're going to see, here comes the structure, right? Half field safety or half field defender, quarter, in this cover 6. And what that leaves is when Nikhil clears out the half field safety, you have all this space in the middle for Hunter Henry, and he's just going to be one-on-one essentially with Sendejo. Now, in the pocket, you're going to notice that Ted Karras gets beat here a little bit to the inside and forces Mac to flush, but you see the escape lane there for Mac to climb the pocket, and he does that extremely well here, sidestep and climb. Now, when we get to this point, watch this defender here and that defender there are currently underneath Hunter Henry's route. So he can't throw this route to Hunter Henry with those defenders there. So what he does is essentially no-look this, and we'll get a better view of it from the end zone angle, but he's going to stare down Jacoby Myers right here. And that is going to cause that defender and this defender to crash on Jacoby Myers, and that is going to open up the passing lane for Hunter Henry coming across the end zone. So as we roll a little bit more, watch this defender right here and watch how he reacts to Mac Jones's eyes and how Mac pulls him out of that passing lane. So that's a really good manipulation there by Mac, and we can watch it again from the end zone angle and you'll see it even more. how he's able to keep his eyes in the middle of the field, even though he knows that he's going to throw it to Hunter Henry, and he's able to manipulate this coverage. So there's a sidestep, and watch how he just kind of keeps his eyes here. He's staring down the middle of the field. His eyes are like this, right? And you can see the defenders, Kenny Moore, and this is Okereke again. They're all just kind of keying in on Jacoby Myers. Well, the ball is coming over here to Hunter Henry, and you kind of see that sidearm, crossbody, almost no-look throw there from Mac Jones to throw the ball to Hunter Henry. So a really good game overall. I felt like a positive game from Mac Jones in this one. You have the 3 different levels concepts that he reads out perfectly, 3 different ways, and manipulates the defense to give him 3 consecutive successful plays off of the same concept and the same route combination. Obviously, the deep shot to N'Keal Harry was a huge one, a huge play in the game, and a really aggressive, good downfield throw from Mac with some pressure on him in the pocket. Also got that roughing the passer call. Then you have the answer against the all-out pressure, knowing where to go to Brandon Bolden and how that route behind the line of scrimmage is going to work out with the traffic and with the 2-man game there at the top of the screen. Just a great understanding of how to beat the pressure. You have coming off the front side read into the backside dig, right? First progression, progress all the way to the backside dig and throw a ball for 9 yards on second down. And then you have this from the end zone angle, everything syncing up, eyes, feet, timing, rhythm, processing, all of it right here on this play to get this ball to N'Keal Harry into the open man. And then obviously the touchdown. Climbing the pocket, evading the pressure, keeping your eyes downfield, post-snap coverage manipulation, and that little sidearm no-look throw to Hunter Henry for the touchdown. A really good tape from Mac Jones on the whole, despite some of the mistakes that he made. If you're a Patriots fan, you can't take all the negative from this game. You got to watch some of the positives from Mac and from the Patriots, and you're going to feel a whole lot better about where the rookie quarterback is at.